I always get asked about what is the best vehicle to drive if I'm going to drive Uber and Lyft. But today, you know, I'm going to take you down a different path. So, some of my best videos have been on Uber and Lyft and the upper platforms. Now, prior to the vacation, I drove a Cadillac CTS 2015, and that CTS qualified me for Uber Lux, which is now Uber Premier, Lyft Lux, Lyft Lux Black. But since the break, I've upgraded the vehicle and I've gone to a Cadillac XT6, which is the big 7-passenger SUV. Midsize, I shouldn't say big. Now that gives me Uber XL, Uber Premier, but on Lyft, it only gives me XL. Because they haven't updated their lists in 2 years, the XT6 isn't on it. So with all that taking place, and then my daughter's car going down and me having to go look for a new car for her or a used car for her, and we all know that used cars are at a premium, 20, 30, 40% higher than what you should be paying for, it got me to thinking, maybe we're looking at this all wrong. Maybe, just maybe, we should be looking at the platforms first and then fitting a vehicle into it that works for us. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go into, on the website, you want to go into your Lyft portal and also your Uber portal. And you want to see what platforms are available to you. Okay, so we know with Lyft, you can see this is the Miami market. We have Lyft, Lyft Lux, Lyft XL, which is typically your 7-passenger vehicles, Lux Black, Lux Black XL. So that's Lyft's platforms. Now, when we go over to the Uber driver portal, you can see here, and you have to do some searching, but you can see all the different platforms they have. Obviously, they have XL, Uber X, Uber Pet, Premier Hourly, Premier SUV, Uber Pool, which right now we don't have to worry about, Premier, Uber Green, Comfort, and Connect. It's a whole lot of platforms there. So what we have here is I went ahead for the Miami market and I laid out all the rates in the different platforms. So let's go through this real quick. X, Pet, and Green on Uber all pay the exact same. 67 cents a mile, 14 cents a minute, with a 20-cent per minute wait time. Comfort, slightly more, very negligible though, 70 cents per mile, 16 cents per minute, but the difference there is 39 cents per minute wait time. Difference here too is with Comfort and Premier, instead of waiting 5 minutes before you can cancel, it's a 10-minute wait. So after the first, I think it's after the first 2 minutes, they start charging the rider anyway. So you're paid for that additional time, but you have to wait 10 minutes instead of 5. Connect, slightly less. This is their cheapest platform. 65 cents per mile, 15 cents per minute, 22 cents per minute wait time. So I guess when the client is bringing you the package or coming to get the package from your car once you arrive at the destination, you get paid for wait time there. Okay. On the Lyft side, they've only got Lyft. That's it. Nothing. There's no Pet, Green, Comfort, or Connect. Although I have heard from 1 or 2 people, I can't verify it, so don't hold me to it, they are going to have a preferred platform, which I'm assuming is the equivalent of Comfort. All right, so we come down a little bit. Now you got your XLs. This is where the prices start switching up for drivers. Uber XL, $1.61 a mile. Lyft XL, only $1.45 a mile. XL on Uber is 24 cents per minute. XL on Lyft, 22 cents per minute. Wait time, 28 cents per minute for Uber. No wait time on Lyft. Premier, $1.40 a mile, 40 cents a minute, 76 cents per minute wait time. Lyft Lux, $1.45 a mile, 23 cents per minute, Again, no wait time. So where you make a couple pennies more per mile, which is where you make your money, you make much less. What's that? 17 cents per minute less. All right. And again, no wait time. Lux Black, Lux Black XL. Now they pay really good. If you notice, Uber Premier SUV, the per mile rate is almost identical to a Lux Black. The per minute charge, though, there's a difference there. But you're talking about a Premier SUV, so a Suburban, an Escalade, a Navigator, those vehicles versus a Lux Black, which could be my CTS, which could be my XT6. It doesn't necessarily have to be an SUV. And then you got Lux Black XL, which is the daddy right now. $3.43 per mile, 58 cents per minute, but no waiting time. The Premier SUV, 96 cents per minute wait time. So I have asterisks here next to Lux Black and Lux Black XL, and you need to consider this in your market, because in our market, before the whole happened, okay, we were all asked, all the Lux Black drivers, Black SUV drivers, Lyft asked us if we had commercial insurance and chauffeur's licenses or hack licenses. So I'm almost going to promise you that's going to change. So that's relevant to the conversation we're having now. So what I'm suggesting to you is, let's take and try to see what platforms, how many platforms can we get on and get into one vehicle that's affordable, fuel efficient, maintenance is easy on it, and you can get as many platforms, like I said, into one. So you can do X and Lyft, same vehicle. You can throw Pet into those same vehicles. You can do Connect into these same vehicles. Green, like I said, that's an EV. You almost have to throw that out because there's no affordable EVs for the green, and they're not paying you anymore. And you're talking about one platform on one of the apps. Comfort. Well, if Lyft comes through with their preferred, which I haven't seen it, but if they give that to you, then you might want to look at that. But right now, X, regular Lyft, Pet, Connect, all one vehicle. So we can put XL in there. Like I said, minivan, like what I have, an XT6, a Kia Sorento, those type of vehicles. And we're going to get to that in a minute. So you can group all of this together. Okay? Let's see if I can shower that up there for you. There you go. If somebody were to ask me, Vinny, what kind of vehicle should I get? I would say one that fits all of these. Because this is going to be your best opportunity right now until we get back to normal, and that might be a year from now. This is going to be where you want to be at and fits these categories. The next category I would look at would be right in here, the 2XL platforms, Premiere and Lux. Unfortunately, if you have a brand new vehicle or a newer vehicle that hasn't made the list in 2018 or 2019, that's not going to be on the list now. So for me, this is where I mainly operate, the 2XLs and Premiere. Hopefully, Lyft will get their act together and get Lux back on here. But this is a very, very narrow scope right now. The only time you'll see a lot of Premiere rides is when XL is surging through the roof. You'll see Premiere and Lux just go absolutely ballistic. But when XL is surging, you can do very well. So this last grouping, this is your big daddies, your big dogs, Suburbans, Escalades, Navigators, the newest Expedition. Still don't understand that one, but it's a nice truck. And these pay the most, but they also cost the most. Now, granted, Lyft Black can be put into the XL, Premiere, Lux area. But like I said, I don't even want to count it because I know it's going away. Mark my words, it's going away next March. They're going to rename it or take it away from Lyft altogether. And whatever they do, I have an idea what they're doing. We'll save that for another video. But is it worth it to go and get something that's going to 12, 13, 14 miles to the gallon when you don't know how often? You already know all these drivers have upgraded themselves. So you have a ton of Suburbans. I'll show a picture here again just to show you. All right. So with all of that being said, now you have to bring yourself over to here. You have to go into your market. Let me see where I got it at. There you go. So now you got to go into Google, look up your Uber car requirements. More than likely, if it's on Uber, it's going to work for Lyft, right? Because they're identical. Go into your market, eligible vehicles list. It'll tell you what you need, four-door vehicles. All you have to do is click on that, go through your vehicles. We'll take Cadillac for example, and you can now go down the list. Now, XT5, CTSVs, XT6, that's my vehicle. Currently on Uber, it's good for Connect, but this is what I mean. It's not Uber Green. So they have some work to do on their list. Uber Pet, Uber X, Comfort, Premier Hourly, and Premier. The CTS, still good to go. My 2015 Comfort, X, Premier Hourly, and Premier. You have to go through this list yourself, and you have to decide what vehicle you can afford. And I'm going to say this again. I said this a year ago. Make sure whatever vehicle you get, you can encapsulate the most platforms possible, and you can afford to pay for that vehicle if you're not getting rides, if you're not working Uber or Lyft. Uber and Lyft right now is strictly a side hustle. There might be a couple of people out there that are, going 50, 60, 70 hours a week on X to make the money. I know for a fact those folks in this category here, this group right here, they're putting in a lot of hours out there because the rides just ain't there. So if you plan to do Uber or Lyft and you're going to be driving passengers or the occasional Connect, I'm suggesting don't look at it as what vehicle you should get. Look at it as what platforms do you want to drive. When you get into the bigger vehicles, the XLs, maybe not the XLs, but when you get into the Lux, Premier, SUVs, they are extremely expensive. If you're going to buy a vehicle to try to do those platforms, I would not do it right now, especially with changes coming again in March. Every March, they change the platforms. Every March, they change the vehicle list. So my suggestion is decide what platforms you want to drive on. Right now, the market down here is telling you X. From X to XL, you're safe. XL Lux Premier, shaky. Premier SUV, yes, there are people out there making money, but you got a lot of competition to get that request. Always make sure you can afford the vehicle without Uber or Lyft.